The Minnesota Golden Gophers look to build on an encouraging 2012 season that saw the Maroon and Gold post a 3-win improvement and earn an invitation to the Meineke Car Care Bowl in head coach Jerry Kill's second season.
Nelson wants to go deep, showing out the arms, got a man, touchdown, Derek Engel!
Sophomore quarterback Philip Nelson returns with 7 starts under his belt. In addition to throwing 8 touchdowns last season, Nelson also finished as the team's 4th leading rusher.
On the ground, Kirkwood, touchdown number 2 on the night!
The Gophers also returned the team's leading rusher in junior Donnell Kirkwood, who ran for 926 yards and 6 touchdowns last year. Kirkwood will run behind an experienced offensive line, which returns all 5 starters. If a young and improving receiving corps finds its stride, look for plenty of points in Minneapolis. Defensively, 6'6", 310-pound defensive tackle Rashid Hageman anchors the Gophers' defense. Hageman posted 6 sacks and 7.5 tackles for loss last season. Also look for defensive back Derek Wells and linebacker Aaron Hill to be mainstays on a young Gopher defense that could make some noise in the Legends division. Ohio State was a perfect 12-0 in Urban Meyer's first year as head coach, and now the Buckeyes return 8 starters on offense and 4 on defense as OSU seeks a second consecutive unbeaten campaign.
Miller splits the seam, Braxton in the open field, what kind of speed does he have? Braxton Miller, touchdown!
The Buckeyes offense is headlined by a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate in junior quarterback Braxton Miller. The reigning Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year, Miller threw for 2,039 yards and 15 touchdowns while rushing for 1,271 yards and 13 more scores. Ohio State returns a strong group of running backs from a team which finished 10th nationally in rushing yards per game last season. The Buckeyes also welcome back their top 2 receivers in Devin Smith and Corey Brown, reliable targets who combined to catch 90 passes and score 9 touchdowns a year ago. On the other side of the ball, the Buckeyes lost 7 starters from last year's defense. The Scarlet and Gray do return junior linebacker Ryan Shazier, as well as a talented set of interior linemen in sophomores Adolphus Washington, Noah Spence, and Tommy Shutt, players who should make life difficult for Big Ten opposition. Head coach Bo Pelini and defending Legends Division champion Nebraska returned 7 starters from one of the most prolific offenses in the conference a year ago.
Martinez in trouble, reverses, trying to break contain, Martinez up the sideline, still running, look at him, Taylor Martinez, what a run, he's got a lane, Martinez, wow, Taylor Martinez, touchdown Huskers, what an athlete!
Senior quarterback Taylor Martinez, Nebraska's all-time leader in passing yards, will once again be in charge of offensive coordinator Tim Beck's explosive offense. Martinez combined for nearly 4,000 yards and scored a total 33 touchdowns a year ago. Martinez will be joined in the Cornhusker backfield by a strong group of running backs, notably the speedy Amir Abdullah and the bruising Amani Cross. The Huskers also returned their top 3 pass catchers from 2012 in senior Quincy Enunwa and juniors Kenny Bell and Jamal Turner. Bell led all Nebraska pass catchers a year ago with 50 grabs for 863 yards and 8 TDs. Defensive coordinator John Papuchis faces a major challenge in replacing 8 starters from last year's unit. The Blackshirts will lean on an experienced secondary led by senior quarterback Ciante Evans to help solidify a talented yet inexperienced defense that could be the key in steering the Cornhuskers back to Indy and the Big Ten title game.
Rick, thank you. So that sets the stage for each one of these teams. Do want to give you a chance to address the fans, just kind of your message heading into the season, starting with you, Jerry.
Well, we're really excited. I think the big step for us is that going to a bowl game and building off our performance at Texas Tech and And even though we lost, I think we did a lot of good things and started to develop the program and where we want to be. But our kids have done a great job. I think anytime you go into year 3 in what we're trying to do, I think we take some great steps forward and expect us to be a better football team. And proud of the way the kids have worked in the off season. We had a great spring ball and great support. I think we had the largest crowd since Coach Holtz was there. So I think the enthusiasm's good and the kids have worked hard, and we're looking forward to the season.
Bo?
Yeah, I echo kind of what Coach Kill said. You know, we came off of last year and got started right away in the off season, and really like our football team, like the potential of it, tremendous leadership, great character. We have young men on our football program who represent our program the right way, do the right things on and off the field, and that's carried over. We have great leadership in our senior class and a really good mix of youth and experience on our team, and it's going to be a talented group. We're going to be young on defense, but very talented, and we're just looking forward to getting it started.
How about you guys, Urban?
Well, we had tremendous momentum from last year, obviously, through the season, but that carried on through recruiting and an excellent spring practice where we had to replace a bunch of players on defense and create more big plays on offense, and that's been the focus, either through development of players but also with recruiting. Academically, our guys did great, and then we're ready to get rolling. And I feel our players understand the routine, and that's very important. Year 1, they're still trying to figure out why we hold two-day practices off campus, why we do certain things, and an athlete, just like a coach, they need to be in a routine. So year 2 is very excited, high expectations, which we kind of embrace around Ohio State, so we're ready to go.
Jerry, I want to focus on your defense first. You got a lot better there last year. I mean, really improved by leaps and bounds. You lose some key contributors, particularly at the linebacker spot. How do you fill those holes?
Well, I think, in the secondary, I feel like we'll be a stronger unit, and Brock Vereen is our leader back there with Rashid Hegeman coming back. Defensively, I feel up front that we'll be better. At linebacker, Aaron Hill's got to be the guy that steps up for us, and he's done a great job in the spring. And then we've got some young players that, have to step up. But I feel like the group athletically is more talented, but, they have to learn, quickly. But we do have talent there.
Bo, I know defense is an issue you wanted to address in the offseason. What kind of progress do you feel like you've made?
I think we made great progress through the spring. You know, we wanted to come out of the spring and really set a foundation for the youth that we have on that side of the ball, and I think we accomplished that. There were times last year we were very good defensively, but we just weren't very consistent and not good enough and not up to the standard by which we live at Nebraska on that side of the ball. But I think we have a really good, talented group on that side of the ball. I think we have a chance to be deeper than we have been in a long time on that side. And we do have really good experience in our secondary, and it's just we got to get our guys up front to grow up in a hurry.
Urban, you talked about momentum. I mean, such a great first season last year. You didn't lose a game. All the talk, I know maybe not necessarily inside the program, but certainly the buzz is, hey, this could be a national championship type team again. You had a little bit of an off the field issue here over the last few days. How do you keep the guys focused on the task ahead?
Well, how I do it is I focus on the positives. There's a lot of, like I said, momentum in the program. The one interesting thing is every team will get hit in the face this year in college football, whether it be a loss, whether it be an issue, whether it be an injury. The ability for a team to hit the storm and come out the other side stronger is a very good indication. You just look throughout the history of the great teams in college football, it's always the ones that can survive a storm. And the storm comes in a variety of different ways. I'm going to try to, like I said, focus on the positives because there are so many positives right now in that program. August 4th, the Buckeyes show up at camp, and I can tell you one thing, this coach and a lot of coaches can't wait to get a hold of them.
Well, one of the reasons and one of the biggest positives I would have to think is Braxton Miller. I mean, here's a guy 5th in the Heisman voting last year coming back. You've talked about him really since the day you were hired as being a special talent. I think everyone outside of Ohio State fans probably shudders at the possibility and the thought of him getting better. But where do you think he can improve?
Well, first of all, I'm not really a big Braxton Miller fan. I love Braxton. I'm not sure many people understand Braxton, and that's why I love these players. I love to be around him, and he's the most humble, very good player I've ever been around. And I have not seen his ceiling. That's kind of a phrase I've been using with him. I think he's a Big Ten Player of the Year in a great conference with great players, but there's so much improvement that he can make in being a quarterback. My goal and our goal and Braxton's goal is not to be a great athlete playing quarterback, to be a really great quarterback that happens to be an excellent athlete. And a lot of that has to be done on his own. You know, the NCAA limits so much. It's amazing how much time we can't spend with a player, especially a quarterback that need to work his fundamentals. You have the season, it's over. You have a 15 practice window. Next time you get him is summer camp. So I'm really hoping by the time I see him again on August 4th, I can see marked improvement because of what I've heard. He's done a great job this summer.
How about your quarterback, Bo? I mean, a guy who also made tremendous strides last year, particularly in the accuracy. What's the next step for Taylor Martinez?
Well, I mean, Taylor's come so far. I mean, he had a great year last year. I think he's just, I mean, he was thrown onto the scene so fast, a lot like Braxton was. And, you know, Taylor is now going into his 4th year as a starter and just has grown so much. I'm so proud of the work he's put in, how far he's grown, not only as a player, but as a man, and how far he's come. It's been fun to watch, and I think he's going to keep getting better. You know what he can do with his feet. He showed what he could do with his arm, and now it's just about continuing to learn how to play quarterback and, you know, being more efficient and letting the offense work for him. You know, and that's hard to do for a kid who is used to scoring touchdowns, throwing touchdowns. Sometimes you just have to let the game come to you, and he's understanding that, and he's continuing to progress.
Continuing our quarterback theme, it was an interesting year for you at quarterback last year. You ended up taking the red shirt off of Philip Nelson midway through the season. How do you think that helped his development heading into this year, Jerry?
Oh, I think it gives us an opportunity to be a better football team. He got a chance to get his feet wet, and he did a great job. He got a chance to play in a bowl game. The bowl game was critical for his development. Coming back in the spring, you know, in the spring scrimmage, he was 10 for 10 right off the bat, and he's gained confidence. And a lot like these young quarterbacks coming through, sometimes you got to get hit a little bit, and you got to be able to get back up. But he's done a great job with our players in the summer, the way I understand it. And then we have another young man named Mitch Leitner, and so we feel better about the quarterback position. Very similar to the jobs we've taken before. That's where it all starts, and this is as good a place as we've been since we've been there.
Fabulous. We'll leave it at that. Jerry Kill, Bo Pelini, Urban Meyer. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Bo. Yep.